friends, welcome to our first asynchronous night in Ed 427. This week you will be focused on learning objectives and building background knowledge when you're designing a lesson. So if you click on the weekly modules, open up week 4, asynchronous class meeting for the week. And there's just a little overview here what we're covering. When you open up the folder, I will have this video posted first. And then the first thing we'd like you to do is just post something in our uplifting links doc. We created a document and put everybody's names in there. Feel free to change your adjectives if you'd like, and just put some place you like to go to when you want to take a break, when you want to mess around, when you want a little uplift. So we'll start with that. Then you can download this document which gives you an overview for what we'd like you to do. I have it right here. First thing is, remember last week we talked about discussing that ordeal by check story in our lit circle groups. If you don't have the story handy, it's here in this strategies for building schema folder. It's the first thing there, so you can download it if you lost your copy. So in your group, you talked about how you were going to engage with this. It could be live, it could be through some kind of discussion, a Padlet, a wiki, a Jamboard, you guys decide. So talk about the story and what happens in the plot, but also talk about what it took for you to be able to make sense of the story. And you're going to post both a little just summary of the story and then your thinking process, the metacognitive process, in some kind of Web 2.0 tool that you can share with us. And you're going to share that on our Lit Circle page. So if you click here, or copy this link, whichever works for you. I'm going to copy because I had a hard time earlier with my internet for some reason. On our page here, we had a place for you to, for each group, to post the link with whatever you created for your discussion. And if you forget who's in your group or you forget how to contact them, that information is here with names and emails of the different groups. So, once you've done that, then we'd like to go back to the schema folder, and we've posted 4 different kinds of activities that could help build schema across different kinds of content areas. Some are more text-based than others. So scroll through these. If there's something you think that could work for you, make note of that because you're going to come back to it later. If not, then you could Google building schema in your particular discipline and find a different strategy, but you're going to need a strategy for the next part. So part 2 of this lesson, we're going to start looking at the lesson plan. So if you go back to the module here, last week we looked at these writing objectives, so this is just the stuff we looked at last week, but I want you to look through this SMART objectives, how to write an objective that's simple, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This is just a short video, and this is a written guide. So look through those, and then these are the resources that we looked at last week that gives you lots of good language for writing objectives. So what you're going to be doing is writing a lesson objective related to your content after you look at the standards in your content area. So in here, I've got the links here for the different standards that you would be following depending on your content, and I think we got everybody covered. If not, you can email us and ask. So we'd like you to look through the standards, just get a sense of what kinds of standards. If you've never looked at them before, this is a good opportunity. And if you have, just kind of review and pick out a standard that you would like to target your first lesson plan draft on. So what we're looking for here is you're picking a standard related to your content, something that you want to create a lesson for, and then you're going to create an objective in relationship to that standard. So you're scrolling through your standards, taking some time to do that. Then you're going to open the lesson plan template, which is here. And just look through the different pieces of the template. Also posted here, we have a model, one that's already filled out for a 7th grade English language arts lesson. You can look through that too, again, just to get an idea. For this class, we'd like you to fill out this preparation to teach box. So whatever standard you picked, that would connect with some kind of unit theme. And if you want to make this connected to your text set, you certainly could. So you're going to connect whatever theme, write down your content standard. We can skip the IEP goal for now. We'll get back to that. And then you're going to write the goal, your learning objective. What will your students be able to take away after this particular lesson? Then what you're going to do is come down to here and fill out this part of the lesson plan. So background knowledge, what strategies, and you can use one of those schema strategies. You see how it's all coming together? Write about what instructional strategy you might use. How will you know if the students got it? How will you measure whether or not they're ready to move on? And what is your rationale? So fill out these 3 sections. You don't need to fill out the reflection yet because that will come later after you've taught the lesson. So that's what we want you to do with the lesson plan. And then there's one final thing here in this folder, this article on co-teaching and inclusion. Because you and a colleague are going to create a co-taught lesson, we want you to review co-teaching, how co-teachers work together, and especially these 6 different models for implementing co-teaching. When you're done with all that, please post a reflection, what did you get out of the class, in your Google Journal. If you remember, we created journals for you. Catherine has them in hers for the, 2972 class, and my class 2017 are in here. So go to your journal, put a new date, journal entry number 2, and just write a reflection on what you got out of the class. And if there's anything else you'd like me to know or Catherine to know about how it's going, what worked with this class asynchronously, what you'd like to see us do for next time, because we have 1 or 2 more asynchronous nights. Also, we'd like you to copy and paste the objective in the standard that you created, because you're actually just going to bring that draft of the lesson plan chart with you to class next week, and you'll partner up with your co-teacher and start working through the rest of that. But we just want to take a look at what standard are you selecting and how are you creating an objective, so we can just start giving some feedback on that. So here's sort of the final deliverables. You're going to post your ordeal by check link in that lit circle chart. You're going to just start beginning that lesson plan with an objective, a standard, the unit, and the schema activating background part. Write a journal reflection, and all of this, please have it done by Wednesday, September 30th by midnight. So if you have any questions, please contact us.